歡迎大家收睇一個非常非常之特別嘅節目。咁因為咧，我有位好耐識咗好耐，亦都好耐冇見嘅朋友李默，才女李默。
好耐冇見，我有時見你啊！我一 click YouTube 就立到你成日講嘢，同阿郭博士。多謝。不過好沉咁樣，有時冇聽晒。
OK。
我最近有溫習功課啊，唔係唔敢嚟啊。
OK。咁啊，今日咧帶咗一位我哋好耐之前喺香港同我哋做過節目嘅一位朋友 Frederic 啊。And we have a very great pleasure to have a very special guest tonight. Frederic?
Hello,
From France.
Nice to see
From
you
France. Vous êtes français?
Je suis français, oui.
Okay. I don't speak French.
好似樣。
Okay. Well, Frederic is very enthusiastic. I would say admirer or viewer, audience or fans of Hong Kong movie, which is very, very special nowadays because we know that we are at the lowest point now, the Hong Kong movie. Or some people say that the Hong Kong movie does not exist anymore. Okay, and but anyway, Frederic is a very dynamic and enthusiastic collector of Hong Kong movie. All kinds of things, and so tonight we invite him to come to my channel to speak about Hong Kong movies. We have an old saying in Chinese: when the tradition is lost, we seek it from overseas or the barbarians. Okay, of course not barbarian, but I mean the overseas people who are not
禮失而求諸
嘢。Yes, we Chinese
唔係barbarians。其實咧，我想打個叉，比較喺 Quentin Tarantino is different, but very crazy about
Hong Kong movie.
Short Brothers. Yeah. What do you think? Compare with him.
But Quentin Tarantino is a filmmaker. I mean, he's a feature film director, and I'm just a documentary filmmaker, so it's not the same thing. But maybe the common point is that we are both passionate by Asian cinema, and especially Hong Kong cinema, Japanese cinema. Yeah.
So, Frederic, what is your mission or purpose in this trip to Hong Kong?
Okay. My mission during this trip to Hong Kong, it's a mission that I actually decided for myself.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody asked me to come to Hong Kong and for 3 weeks. So I decided to come to Hong Kong for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
For several reasons. First, I wanted to attend the film art because 2 years ago I went to Hong Kong and I started a project about a Hong Kong movie from 1983 that was never been seen since 40 years. It was released on VHS. The English name is Black Magic with Buddha.
Yeah.
And the Chinese title means The Buen Demon. So it's a movie with Chan Kwan-tai, Yuan Han, and Lo Li, who's also the director. So this movie is a horror movie from 1983, and it's I've seen it a very bad quality copy on VHS on YouTube. So it's horrible to watch. I mean, you cannot watch it really properly. Yeah. And full screen, so the subtitle is missing, you know. And I found, by luck, I found the original producer, who's actually a friend of mine, and she accepted. She didn't want to talk about the movie ever. For some reason that I cannot reveal, but it was a bad experience. So, but I convinced her that some fans would like to see this movie in a restored version. And so I took care of it. I mean, I contacted some friends, some company in France to help me for the distribution. So I initiated 2 years ago the scan of the 4K scan of the original negative. Yeah. And it took a long time because we found two versions actually. Yeah. Mandarin version, Cantonese version. So the Cantonese version was the only version on video. Yeah. The Mandarin version is more respectful for the religious people. I can say a religious country. Yeah. So I suppose maybe it was supposed to be a screen at the time for Malaysia or some country where you cannot too much messed with the divinity, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I found 2 versions. So it took a while. First the scan restored, and then combined, and 2 minutes were missing of the Cantonese version. I could finally find those 2 minutes and a half from another collector of 35mm print.
Yeah.
He lives in the UK, but he found the print in Taiwan.
Oh.
And the Taiwan version is actually the same cut of the Cantonese version.
Yeah.
So I scanned also the parts that was missing, so I reconstruct the Cantonese version. So we have 2 versions that will be released in France and North America this year.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to come to Film Art to talk about this movie.
Yeah.
And try to find maybe some distribution company. And I have another project, the same kind of project, but more ambitious, because it's about 13 Korean movies never released outside of Korea since the end of 70s and mid of 80s. And those were produced under the dark times of Korea, of South Korea, and under the, the corrupt regime or military regime at the time.
Yeah.
So very rare movie, never seen in 40 years, like Black Magic with Buddha, but another style. Some are commercial, some are more drama. And it took me 4 years to get the approval of the Korean Film Archive to scan those prints because of some regulations or some rules you have to respect.
Maybe even the copyrights problem.
No, the copyright was the more easy. I have the rights 4 years ago.
Oh yeah. Oh.
But because it's Korean Film Archive have some rules, and you have to to fill a lot of paperwork, and you have to have a lot of permission. Even if I had the right, I had to have more paper signed and more authorization. And actually, I used ChatGPT to speak in Korean with them because they didn't really understand my purpose. Because I said I just want to release the movie commercially in the West. And they didn't understand this, so I just wanted to render the movie. But anyway, so finally everything is clear, and I started the scan of the Korean movie. So 2 movies were scanned this month, and I plan to scan all the movie before the end of the year, so 13 movies. And same for Black Magic with Buddha, I negotiate the worldwide rights, which means that, for example, Black Magic, I even have the Hong Kong right.
Okay.
So if the Hong Kong distributor want to release the movie, he has to contact me first.
Okay.
And
Let me see if I can check it on
Black Magic 4K, and you will find the trailer.
4K.
Black Magic with Buddha 4K.
咩中文名？
光頭啊嘛。
光頭。
Black Magic with Buddha.
哦
Buddha.
Black Magic with Buddha, yeah.
Yeah.
嗰陣時又好興拍呢啲戲嘅，一輪有出好好睇嘅。
Take off this.
李
Okay.
翰祥個女做嘅嗰出好好睇嘅。
Yeah. Okay, yeah. This is my trailer.
This is your trailer.
So
This is your name?
yeah.
Oh, okay, that's great.
So I cut a new trailer because the old trailer is 4 minutes and a half. It's too old school and people get bored and you have a lot of spoilers.
Yeah.
But for this trailer, I made it more dynamic. So it's like 1 minute 30 seconds. So
Very clear.
Yeah.
You see the.
And of course, this is a restored version. So really, they did a really good job. So it's a French company who actually I made the movie scan in Hong Kong by l'Imaginaire Retrovata Asia.
Yeah.
And then I had to do the restoration in France because first, of course, I had to. I had to contact the labs who's doing restoration, and they have a really high fees. So, and since we are an independent distribution company, we could not afford to pay tens of thousands of euros for the restoration. So we make a deal with the French distribution company who also did the restoration, so we could balance, the price of the scan and restoration with the price of the fee of the distribution company, the distribution rights.
Yeah. Excuse me, we have to do a bit of explanation in Cantonese because our audience may not know the name in Chinese. 阿麥姑係呢個係降頭。
邊個做嘅？我都冇。
羅列啊嘛。
我好怕聽佢。
老魔。
Brand Demon.
Brand Demon. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Let me see if I can check.
我真係聽唔到佢啲英文，佢真係講個一嚿嚿。
唔係，慢慢聽就聽到㗎啦。
Okay, directed by Loli.
Yeah. 哦，阿羅列做
Loli is the director
做導演嘅當年係，我識再 check out. Not these days, so we can use search engine is very easy. Very easy.
Yeah, but you don't have a lot of info because it's very rare movie. So I have all the info. I made the researches.
Okay.
I will do a new synopsis.
Yeah.
And I even made the research on the Thai cast because there is a Hong Kong cast, Loli, Yuan Han, but there are also Thailand stars in the movie.
Now,
but when it was released in Hong Kong, they put in light only the Hong Kong stars in the trailer.
Yeah.
But actually, I made a new trailer to show the Hong Kong cast and the Thai cast. It was really a co-production with Hong Kong and Thailand.
Yeah. Okay. Right now, I can do the explanation in Cantonese because there is a short introduction about this movie. 咁啊，廣東名咧就係老魔，腦袋個腦就係羅烈先生執導嘅，即係羅烈啦，咁啊一位好出色嘅演員啦。主角咧就係陳觀泰、余安安、楚雙雲、金燕玲，咁咧就係1983年嘅，就喺香港上映啦。咁咧就係講呢個印尼降頭同埋呢個泰國四面佛之間嘅法術對抗嘅背景啊。It is very exotic because the setting is in Indonesia and Thailand. Okay, so I can sense that this is a very, very attractive movie and very exciting. So I'm excited about this movie too. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, recently I discussed with somebody from the film industry, and he really wants to help this movie to be screened again in Hong Kong.
Okay.
Especially to the young audience who like horror movies.
Okay.
Because nobody has seen it in 40 years.
Okay. This is the original trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, but
very bad quality.
Very bad quality.
Full screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
The question that I would like to ask is that
for example, I can contact this company to
take it down. Take it down. Okay.
Because yes, now I have the right. So,
okay.
Yeah, and it's a very bad quality.
Yeah, please do. And since you have devoted so much efforts in making this movie coming to light in Hong Kong or other cities, have your efforts been acknowledged by the film company or the government? Because I guess it will cost you a lot of money and a lot of time to devote to this kind of projects.
For now, luckily, we didn't lose money. That's why I could work on the current film now with my partners. I succeeded to balance the cost of the scan and restoration, and I could sell it to French distribution company and North American distribution company.
Yeah.
So now it's the balance is like at zero.
Zero. Yes,
and since we got the right for the world, I can sell to other countries and we can make some profit.
Yeah.
So now, for now, we say that it's a good operation. I mean, it's not we didn't lose money.
Yeah.
So now I just need to spend some time to do the promotion or to contact some festival. Sure. And it was always screened one version because we found two versions. One version, the Mandarin version, was already screened last September and October in some countries. So in France, in Paris, there was two screenings of the Mandarin version. And even in Bangkok, so it's a co-production with Thailand, and the Bangkok International Film Festival asked me to screen it. So it was screened twice in Thailand, and there was some good feedbacks from the Thai audience.
Yeah.
And it was even screened in the US in Nashville during a 12-hour marathon of horror movie. So there were 12 hours of horror movie, and Black Magic with Buddha was the last one. Yeah. So they didn't sleep until this one. And the festival sent me a video of everybody still in the cinema, and the cinema was still full after the screening of Black Magic with Buddha.
Why don't you think this film attract them? I guess it's because now it's the AI, and then everything is mixed with your brain.
No, I mean old school horror movies are still popular and will.
Is anything about that?
I think old school movie like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or The Exorcist people will never forget those movies because they were so groundbreaking. They were so scary and so groundbreaking. And Black Magic with Buddha, of course, is not a masterpiece, but still, there is some real special effect. No digital effect. So you have a brain, you know, and you have some
right now we
some
long
practical effects. That's
we long for some realistic effects instead of artificial intelligence, because we are too fed up with all that. But you see, this is the human brain here. Okay. Okay. So Miss Lee is a friend of Quentin Tarantino. Maybe you ask Miss Lee to contact Tarantino to do a commentary on this film and then promote it. Okay.
Of course, I'm pretty sure if you watch, I'm pretty sure Quentin Tarantino will buy the Blu-ray.
Sure. I agree with you. Okay.
He's a fan of Loli, and he used the music of Five Fingers of Death in the
He has a special, a crush on this kind of cult movies. So we get back to the fundamental question. What do you find so attractive about Hong Kong movies in the 80s and in the 90s?
Yes. So I discovered, I discovered Hong Kong movies, I suppose, when I was a kid. And what attracted me, first I think it was Jackie Chan movies.
Yeah, Jackie Chan.
There was Project A and there was Police Story. So Project A was released in 83 and Police Story in 85 in Hong Kong, but it was released in France in 88.
Yeah.
So I was 12 or 13 years old when I've seen those movies. And I was not even in France back in the day. I lived in Martinique, so it's a Caribbean island, French Caribbean island. So not a lot of Hong Kong movies in a cinema, but I could rent Hong Kong movies in video stores. And I was attracted by genre movies, so I was watching Steven Spielberg movies, or Indiana Jones, or Ridley Scott movie, Alien, or John Carpenter's movie, Big Trouble in Little China, or The Thing. But then I discovered there was also some cool and spectacular movies from Asia, and especially Hong Kong. So when I discovered Choi Hart production, Chinese Ghost Story, or Jackie Chan movies, of course, with Sammo Hung, I was really, I was a fan. I became a fan instantly when I watched Project A on the big screen, you know, with the real stunt by Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung, and, the comedy, the action, and and so I was really attracted by Hong Kong cinema because of the action in the first place. Then I discovered other type of movie when I was growing up. So when I was like 20 years old, when I was a student, I went from Martinique to France and to do some study, nothing to do with the movies. I was studying mathematics and physics. But every week I was going to Chinatown in Paris, and I was renting or buying some Hong Kong movies because I was never enough of watching Hong Kong movies. Even if I watch some movie, I want to watch more. So even if all the movie I watch released in France, it was not enough. So I had to go in the Chinatown, watch the movie with English subtitle, Chinese and English subtitle. Even if I was not speaking very good English, I forced myself to learn English to understand Hong Kong movie first.
You should learn Cantonese instead of English.
I know.
Because some of the dialogues in Hong Kong movies, I can't say they are translatable. Especially the dialogues of Stephen Chow.
Yeah.
And only the Cantonese people can understand the jokes.
I know that, and
you are no good in learning language.
I know that, but actually when
Cantonese, how come?
But the thing is, when I start to write as a journalist in early 2000, the first subject I wrote about was Stephen Chow movies.
Okay.
Because I discovered Stephen Chow movies by luck when I was going in Chinatown, and I've seen Forbidden City Cop with Karina Lau, and I found it hilarious. And then I wanted to watch all the Stephen Chow movie. So I watched, all of his movie, Tong Pak Fu.
Tong Pak Fu.
You get lots of him.
And Ling Ling Fat.
Ling Ling Fat. Okay.
So I watched all of them, and before he became popular in the West because of Shaolin Soccer. Shaolin Soccer was a huge hit in 2001. And then it was released in France during the summer, and it was a people, the company at the time who released Shaolin Soccer during the summer believed that the movie will not be a success because everybody is in holiday and stuff like that. And the only movie who was really a success in France was In the Mood for Love in 2000.
Oh, it
was a huge success. It made 1 million people went to see it in France.
Okay.
But when they released Shaolin Soccer in the summer, they believed that it would be a fun movie. But actually, it made 800,000 people went to see it.
Yeah.
So it was a huge success. It was a really big surprise, even if it was released 1 year before in Chinatown and in Hong Kong cinema.
Yeah.
So actually, people, the mainstream press, actually contacted me because I wrote about Stephen Chow 2 years before and about all of his movies. So all the press were contacting me to write their article because they didn't know anything about Stephen Chow. And that's how I started to write about Hong Kong movies more because I think when I really, what I was doing is when I like something, I write about it, and even if it's not released in France. So I was writing about it, and then 2 years later, maybe it's released in France. So every time I was 2 years early.
You're a pioneer. So,
maybe.
I must admit that you are more knowledgeable about Hong Kong movies than I am. Okay, so we will get back to Wong Kar-wai later because this is a huge subject. So when you come to Hong Kong, and I see that you will collect some of the rare objects in whatever places you find. You told me it was in Bangkok. So you let our audience.
Where is it? Oh, here.
Let our audience see what you have collected. Because I don't even know where to find this magazine.
How can you store it? So many.
It's so like.
Wow.
I'm interested in Hong Kong cinema, but I told you when I start to go to Chinatown.
When I was in my teenagers.
Yeah. So Lila Iwa. So actually,
You are children.
Or Sitkayin, the Cantonese movie of the 60s. The thing is.
1967年。
1967.
中學雞。
Cheng Pei-pei. Cheng Pei-pei, she was really the first Show Brothers star that I met in my life in 2002 in Cannes. And yes, the thing is, I liked Hong Kong movies, so I was reading the French press about Hong Kong movies. So I was reading about Choi Hark or about John Woo. But then I discovered Chinatown and all other movies and action movies. So I discovered the movie starring Lila Iwa. The movie she made in the 60s in Show Brothers. And it was not action movie, it was drama, historical drama. Or even there was a religious movie when she played Guan Yin, the goddess of mercy. And I discovered that I was buying VCD because I was not rich, right? So the VCD is for the poor people, right? So I was buying some Malaysian VCD, bad quality, VHS quality, full screen. So I cannot read the beginning or the end of the subtitle. But still, I was, I was forcing myself to watch those bad quality.
These are all very precious.
Lindai from 1953. So I discovered on VCD the movie with Lila Iwa, and then of course I discovered some opera movie with Lindai. And in 2001 or 2002, the Celestial Pictures, the company Celestial Pictures, they booked more than 700 titles of Show Brothers movie, but not only because everybody knows in France only the wuxia, only the martial arts movies. But when Celestial Pictures booked the right of 700 movies, there were all kind of genre. So there were the opera movie or the historical drama, and I booked everything. Each week there was like maybe, or each month there was 6 titles, or I don't know. There is a lot of titles. So I was buying everything: musical, historical drama, comedy, and I actually discovered in good quality. It was DVD, but it was good quality because they were restored. And so I discovered, all the Liang Xiang's movie. Liang Xiang, I want to do a documentary about Liang Xiang. This is one of my favorite directors. And where is the magazine on Liang Xiang?
Liang Xiang.
Liang Xiang. So Liang Xiang is really the best, because everybody know King Hu in the West. Everybody knows that he's a master of wuxia. He's done the Touch of Zen, he's done the Dragon Inn, he's done Come Drink With Me.
Especially the Manchu court drama.
At the end of the career. But Liang Xiang, he never did any wuxia movie.
No.
90 movie, 40 45 years of career, he never did one single wuxia movie. Maybe he did one martial art movie early 60s with Loti, but it was more like an opera. It was not like violent action film. So I don't think he was interested in action. And you know,
he was a painter before he became the director.
Artwork of the show.
And 45, he did 90 movies, and half of the movie he did was Shaw Brothers movie. Well, between 58 and maybe early 80s.
I would not say right now. I would not say you are a fan of Hong Kong movie. You have been obsessive about Hong Kong movies.
Sammo Hung, one of the best action director, choreographer, actor, is really the best. You know. Jackie Chan is more popular than Sammo Hung, but Sammo Hung I think is the best.
Okay, that's okay. Right now we will go to the topic about Wong Kar-wai because it is very current. All of these are in semi-retirement or so. But Wong Kar-wai is still the hottest director in Asia, or even in Hollywood. Okay, because one of the Oscar winner, the Chinese woman director. She said that every year she will watch the Wong Kar-wai's film, Happy Together, every year. Okay. So can you explain why the French people, they have such, they like Wong Kar-wai so much? Why?
The thing is, I cannot talk for all the French people because actually,
of course,
I like Wong Kar-wai, but I'm not like a huge fan of Wong Kar-wai. And maybe I like other directors like Patrick Tam. You know, Patrick Tam was maybe he was. For me, I prefer to watch Patrick Tam's movies than Wong Kar-wai. So even the one Patrick Tam's movie, the script is by Wong Kar-wai. The final victory is Choi Hawk and Eric Tsang, Chung Chi-wai. And I love this movie, you know. And I think, you know, maybe it was like Patrick Tam is kind of the mentor of Wong Kar-wai, you know, because he was doing a movie for the new wave, like a new wave director. You know, I like the new waves. I like Choi Hawk, I like An Oi, Patrick Tam, and Wong Kar-wai came a little bit later. And he was inspired. You feel watching his movies, he was inspired by French cinema because I think French audience like Wong Kar-wai's movie because it's like a French movie but with Asian people. This is, I mean, maybe it's not only that, but of course he has a style of his own, and it's a mix of influence of course there is a Chinese culture, and also there is a European influence in the editing, in the rhythm, in the editing, you know. So that's why I think that's the reason why he was appreciated internationally, you know, and because he's singular. That's the reason. You know, he wants to do the things in his own way. And it worked. I mean, usually when a director wants to do something in his own way, he doesn't care about being successful or no. Because when he did his first movie, it was As Tears Go By with Andy Lau, right? You remember, right?
Leslie Chang.
No, As Tears Go By was with Andy Lau, Jackie Chung, and Alex Mann, you know, Man Shilang, and the photography was by Lo Icon, Andrew Lau, and it was a gangster film, right? It was a gangster film, very beautiful photography. And the inspiration of the movie, you can feel it's maybe Martin Scorsese, you know, Mean Streets,
Martin Scorsese,
the same kind of character. So it was supposed to be a commercial film, but still, you have this style, very aesthetic style, and you know it's like it was very artistic, you know, even if it was supposed to be a commercial film. Then he did Days of Being Wild. It was supposed to be another commercial film, but this one was too much artistic in the taste of the producer, and I heard that the producer was not really
actually
happy.
when it was screened in the theater, it was spoiled by the audience, especially the last part when Tony Leung was combing his hair. Everybody was
so it's a very good movie. I actually see, maybe this is one of
it is my favorite.
Maybe this is my favorite movie of Wong Kar-wai, Days of Being Wild, and so it was a flop. This was a flop, and for sure it was not a commercial film. So that's why maybe Wong Kar-wai didn't do a movie for quite some time before Chungking Express, right? And then I heard if I didn't do any research on Wong Kar-wai before coming here, but as far as I remember, he started to do Hatches of Time, and then there was some delay, some problems, and then he decided to do Chungking Express very quickly.
Yeah.
And Chungking Express became maybe one of his most popular movie worldwide.
Yeah.
You know, and because it was done like in a very rushed way, and of course the photography of Christopher Doyle, the editing, you know, the style, you know, and the freedom, you know, it's a very, you know, it's a free director. He really wants to.
It was a very dynamic film, which was very alive and full of vitality. But anyway, can you tell me who is your most favorite Hong Kong director?
For which generation?
Of course.
Because, of course, the actual generation, I mean, I don't know, Choi Hark maybe, because Choi Hark made, like, in 45 years of career, so many masterpieces as a director, as a producer. I mean, he did, like, I mean, he produced A Better Tomorrow, he directed The Blade, directed The Lovers, he produced The Swordsman, even... Of course, when I say he produced The Swordsman, I know from the actors that he's also co-directed.
Yeah.
Even if he's not credited, he's also put in you know, he's directed the actor. Some actors I interviewed, they said to me, "Oh, Choi Hark directed this movie," and officially it's Ching Sutong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I think it's really one of the best Hong Kong director for the last 45 years for sure. John Woo, I love John Woo, especially his Hong Kong career, especially. Like between A Better Tomorrow and Hardball, I think the best action films, best gangster and action films ever made in Hong Kong was done by John Woo. And I like Ringo Lam, Lam Ling Tong, I like Kirk Wong. I mean, I like the crime movies, Hong Kong crime movies, trad films. If we go back into the past, on the classics movie, I like Liang Shang's. You know, I like the opera movie. I like the Love Eternal, Liang Shang Bo Su Ying Tai. I like, The Kingdom and the Beauty. And of course, the movie with Li Laiwa, Empress Wu, Wu Zetian. And Yang Kuei-fei.
Oh, okay, that was too old.
Yeah, but those movies were selected at the Cannes Film Festival in the 60s. I was not born, but I made my research and I said, actually, the first Hong Kong director to have his movie selected at the Cannes Film Festival was Liang Xiang, and nobody talked about him today. And you know, this year it would be 100 years old, and nobody really paid tribute to him. Why? You know, so I decided a few years ago to make a documentary about him.
My explanation is that Mr. Lee is too classical, because you have to know a bit of Chinese history.
But Chinese history is good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you love Hong Kong cinema, you have to know a little bit about Chinese history.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't understand why some people they want to watch Hong Kong movies, but they don't want to know the Hong Kong background. You have to know everything, right? If you love Hong Kong movies, you have to know a little bit about the Hong Kong history.
But I guess you can ask Miss Susan.
Susan Shaw.
She know a lot about Mr. Lee because
already done.
Oh, you already done. Okay.
1 hour and a half interview with her a few days ago.
Do you think those directors should change their style?
Which director?
Every director.
What do you mean change is?
In your opinion, just like you think their variety, and then each time has new story.
Miss Lee is saying that because they concentrate too much on one kind of genre.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think?
I mean, today, what I can see today is that the big commercial films directed by Hong Kong director. Are marketed for the Chinese market, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a historical epic drama or story, classical stories, but with new special effect or like 1,000 of extras, and big budget,
Yeah.
Of course. So you don't have. I mean, in the past, in the 80s or 90s, you have all kind of budget. If you have a little money, you can make a movie, and there was like maybe 300 movies every year in Hong Kong. But nowadays, you just have, if you want to see a really local Hong Kong movie, you have maybe 50 movies, right? And if you make something really local, it will be released in Hong Kong only, not in China. So if you want your movie, a Hong Kong movie to be released in China, you have to make a co-production, or you have to to talk about a story that can please everybody. So that's why I liked the fact that the Tsui Chang movie about the colonial city, released 2 years ago. It was a success. I'm really happy that this movie was a success both in Hong Kong and China, because it's a really Hong Kong story, right? Because colonial city is it was in Hong Kong, right?
Yeah.
And but it managed to be a success in China, and because it was a package, it was marketed as a action commercial films, So it's I think it's a good way to actually put your Hong Kong movies into the Chinese market and international market, because this movie was also in Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah.
It was at the midnight screening 2 years ago in 2014.
It was very popular in Japan.
Also, yeah, because it's actually
more popular than in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the action scenes really are kind of look like an anime,
Yeah. Okay. So another important topic is about your tie. Can you show our audience your tie?
Yeah, it's Bruce Lee, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where do you get it?
In Hong Kong.
Oh, really?
But it's made in Italy.
Oh, made in Italy.
So I bought it 20 years ago in Bangkok, and actually it was a gift to my father. My father passed away, so I took it back.
I would like to have one too.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay.
So I bought it for my father, but he passed away 10 years ago, and so I.
And I guess whenever you talk about Hong Kong movies, one of the constant topic is Bruce Lee. So what is your opinion about Bruce Lee?
Yeah.
So I told you that it was for my father, because my father was a fan of Bruce Lee, and my big cousins were fans of Bruce Lee. When I was 13 years old, I didn't know about Bruce Lee because Bruce Lee died already, right? Yeah. But I was seeing some poster in my big cousin's room about Bruce Lee, so they were more fans of Bruce Lee than me. Me, for my generation, it was Jackie Chan.
Okay.
But it was Jackie Chan because it was, police story.
Do you know that we have a very bad opinion about Jackie Chan?
I heard. But I'm talking about the Jackie Chan of the 80s, right?
Okay,
Okay, but anyway, so, and Bruce Lee, so I discovered, I have all the friends, they watch Bruce Lee movies in the cinema. Me, I never had the chance to watch a Bruce Lee movie in the cinema, except for a restored version like a few years ago when the movie were restored in 4K, right? But so my friends, my older cousins, they discover Bruce Lee in a cinema, and then they were taking, they were doing nunchakus with the, accessories. They were doing their own nunchaku, and so I heard about that, but I was not there to discover it. So I'm a fan of, I'm a fan of Bruce Lee like everybody, but I'm not a huge fan of Bruce Lee. I've watched all of the movie for sure, Yeah, but I appreciate Bruce Lee more than, for say the filmmaking, like Lo Wei, who did the Bruce Lee movie, right? Big Boss, and he did not Way of the Dragon is Bruce Lee, and before Fist of Fury, right?
Fist of Fury.
So Lo Wei, we did Big Boss and Fist of Fury, was not really like my favorite director, right? I prefer other directors from Shaw Brothers or Golden Harvest of the same era, and but it was more like Bruce Lee personality or Bruce Lee input in those movies than the direction of Lo Wei, right?
Yeah.
And actually, when Bruce Lee did this, actually the first Bruce Lee movie I've seen was Way of the Dragon, and it was the only movie directed by Bruce Lee. So the movie was shot in Italy, and he fought with Chuck Norris at the end. So this movie I watched quite many times when I was maybe 12, 13 years old, 14 years old, But the other movie, I've watched them later, Big Boss, for example, it's a very violent movie, actually, And actually, I've watched them maybe a few times. I haven't watched it, I haven't watched Big Boss like a lot of times. And Fist of Fury, same, but when it was restored in 4K and watched it on the big screen, I say, wow, this is it's very good, because of the, not only because of the action, but of course, because of the spirits, because of the story, fighting against Japanese occupation, it was really, and even if I'm not Chinese, and I suppose for everybody in the world, when you see a movie when you're oppressed by some enemy, by some people who want to put you down, everybody can recognize themselves into the character.
Can relate to that kind of experience.
Of course.
Especially the minorities.
As the minorities, yes, exactly. That's the reason why all the minorities, I think, are fans of Bruce Lee. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Last time before Sekin died.
Check-in,
He's home for a few times. Talk about Bruce Lee.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
How was he?
In the shooting time, very interesting.
你可以講廣東話話俾觀眾聽。
講中文俾你聽啦。
Check-in。
佢咧係把握時間，佢拍嗰個龍爭虎鬥啊嘛嗰陣時。
Enter the Dragon。
係咁咧，佢咧去撳鐘啊嚇，撳鐘開門，九龍塘住啊嘛，啲人要行出嚟。喺等開門嗰時，已經將自己倒樹衝㗎啦。係啊，瘋狂練舞。佢咧如果坐巴士去外景地方咧，司機後邊咪有啲空位嘅咧，佢就喺嗰度倒樹衝㗎啦。係。
And what Miss Led talked about was that Bruce was devote all his waking hours on kung fu. He always trained
on the bus.
Train on the bus, train on whatever place he.
仲有一日咧就好 touching 嘅，就喺度化妝。啲石堅好有型啊嘛，佢好注重化妝，佢老婆幫佢化啊嘛，好緊張佢個妝。咁阿李小龍見到佢咁有心機化妝，喺個鏡度來睇，望咗一輪。堅叔話：我估我唔會活到好似你咁老。
And when Shaquille, the opponent of Bruce Lee in the movie, was doing his makeup, and Bruce stared him and told him that I will not live as long as you.
I am afraid.
Wow. Because Bruce has a sense that he will die early.
Wow.
Yeah. That you can read this book. It was about.
Your book.
By the way, my grand teachers of Kung Fu is the teacher of Bruce Lee.
Wow.
I also do Wing Chun myself. So let's go back to the Hong Kong movies. And right now we are at the very low point about in Hong Kong movie market. Do you have any
idea?
No idea. I don't have the idea. I mean, do you still love Hong Kong movie in these days?
Recently.
But I've seen some movies that I like very much. I've seen recently, like last year, I've seen the movie Papa. By Phil Pyong. And of course, it's one of my favorite actors is Lo Ching-wan. So of course,
Song Lao. Song Lao.
Yeah. I've never heard this name Trouble Now until last year. Always call him Lo Ching-wan. Now he changed his name. Why? The marketing is Chun Lao when they want to release this movie. Lo Ching-wan for me is Lo Ching-wan. It's not Chun Lao. Okay, so Lo Ching-wan, I love Lo Ching-wan. Especially this movie with Johnny To, of Ringolam, Lam Ning Tong, And so Papa is really good movie. Yeah, so I love it. So you have new directors. You have you have less Hong Kong movies than before, but still you have some strong voices, and but it's I suppose it's a bit difficult because those movies, for example, Papa, I would love to see it in a French cinema, but it's not released abroad, right? It's just going to film festival, and I've seen it in film festivals, but maybe the distribution company, the foreign distribution company, don't believe in the new Hong Kong movies that commercially that can work, because of course they want to release some commercial action films or gangster film. So the Korean movies actually are really popular now internationally, since 20 years when they start to release the Bong Joon-ho movie or Park Chan-wook movie, and now they are really popular. So before, in Southeast Asia, it was only Hong Kong. Hong Kong movies were dominated. They were dominated the market.
It used to dominate the whole market, but right
now since for a while now, there is Korean movies, Indonesian movies, Thai movies, Tunisia movies, and so now it's not the same, and especially now you don't have a lot of action film from Hong Kong because now it's not the trend. Now it's different, and they don't have the budget, of course, to make epic action films only for Hong Kong, right? Yeah. They can do it for China, for sure.
And the other problem is that the action stars are getting old.
Also, yeah.
Because you see, Jackie Chan is about, I guess, 70s, and Donnie Yen is 60s or something like that. But there is no new generation of action stars.
The generation of new action stars, they are in China actually. They are from mainland China.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of movie. I mean, I haven't watched them, but I was told that there is a lot of 600, 800 movies a year in China, and there is a lot of action films with new stars, and as good as dynamic as the Hong Kong movie of the 90s. That's what I was told recently. I was at the film market, so I talked a lot with the salesperson or and also the fans, and they told me like, oh, you have this trend in Chinese movies that very action. Of course, something different with Hong Kong is like maybe they are very like patriotic, something like that, but. Still, there is some skill, there is some talent there, but of course, not the same as Hong Kong, right? Hong Kong, it was really unique. It was, of course, a small city, shooting the movie in the street. Nowadays, you cannot shoot any action scene or chasing scene in the street, right? You need the permission, and nowadays cannot do that, right?
Yeah.
And I remember before some movies from the 80s, they were shot without any permit in the street,
Oh, that was
the good old days.
Crazy era in Hong Kong movie. Okay.
Yeah, and you can feel that watching a Hong Kong movie from the 80s. So even somebody tried to make another Hong Kong movie the same style, it will not work because it was an era. It was during a certain period of time. So now, and of course today, everybody, because Hong Kong movie, actually Hong Kong talents were recruited by Hollywood at one point, right? There was The Matrix, there was Charlie's Angels, and then there was Crouching Tiger, which is a co-production with Hollywood. He won Oscars. So now Wen Wuping names, for example, is very popular worldwide because he did the choreography of the Matrix, Kill Bill, And now everybody tried to make like Wen Wuping, like all the people in the world. And now you have, because of the digital, because of the VFX, so you can train a little bit, and then you can make a green screen, and then you can make some crazy action scene. But it's not the same like Hong Kong, right?
No.
Hong Kong, no green screen.
No,
only the wire, but you can have some smoke, but you don't have any.
I was told there were real fightings in the movie those days. But I don't know. But
real stunts,
yeah.
Wai Ying-hung. She broke everything, and when I met her the first time, 2003, she told me she would never do an action movie anymore.
Okay.
Still, she did an action movie in 2011 with Donnie Yen Wuxia. She fighted against Donnie Yen, and she was 50. So that's why I love Hong Kong movies. She said, "Oh, I stopped doing action films," and then 10 years later, she's doing another one.
You are even greater lover of Hong Kong movie than we are. OK， 阿李麥就可以介紹麥當雄俾佢食啦，遲啲啊，麥當雄
唔係香港嘅，因為其實有好多人我都冇諗起嘅，我即刻諗起你嘅啫。Yesterday I heard some.
I interviewed her.
OK.
For this, I interviewed her about Shaw Brothers.
This your job.
About Lin Cheng-Shi.
Crazy Shaw.
This all your job.
Yeah. There is my documentary. So this is a release of some Shaw Brothers movies. This one is a box set of 6 movies.
You mean you're doing this kind of job and over 20 years? Or?
Yeah, because I cannot sell all my interviews because some people are not interested. And then 20 years later, I say, oh, I can have an interview for this released 20 years later. So I edit your interview 20 years later,
Me and Susan, etc., inside there.
Yeah, I mean...
oh my God. 14 years ago, maybe. Yeah.
No, this one 2004. 2004, your interview.
You came to my office there by that time. Yes.
Oh, so you actually are a distributor of this?
I work with distribution company. That's why if I was my own distribution company, of course, I would have released more.
Next time you will inside there.
Maybe I can introduce some local directors for you because Food Chen.
Yeah, I interviewed him already.
Oh, you interviewed him already.
But I interviewed him, and for example, I use his interview for also 20 years ago, 2004. I use it for Blu-ray, the Blu-ray of dumplings.
Yeah,
the three extreme. Yeah.
Okay.
I just asked something to briefing to think about it. Yesterday, I heard the government announced that they want Hong Kong to be a cultural city, and then they used the 北部大都會咧to become to become a 文化藝術之都
cultural artistic center of Asia.
咁即係 I want to know. I want to talk with you too. What do you think government should do? Should support what kind of arts?
You're asking me?
Yeah, you just think about it. This is yesterday night I heard about. Then I want to think about it. Yeah, they won't support me. Writing is useless. No money. Yeah, they can support movie, but it's too big budget.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I never had any budget.
They just say,
I don't know either because we don't want to criticize the government.
It announce. Yeah.
Can you take some photo?
Yeah.
If they announce, we should follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
One last question about what is your future project or your?
I have many projects actually. That's why, for example, I'm buying all those magazines because I make the researches. Now, okay, good thing about AI, it's I can translate all those books now.
Okay. So
I mean, most of them are bilingual, but some.
You don't read Chinese?
I don't read Chinese, yeah. I mean, if I stayed in Hong Kong for 6 months, of course, but the thing is that every year I come to Hong Kong only a few weeks.
Yeah.
And I come back to France and I make the editing and I make the writing, you know. But for sure, if I was staying in Hong Kong for 6 months, I would maybe be more serious about learning Cantonese or Mandarin.
Okay.
And but yeah. For example, you know, so some magazines are bilingual. Of course, I was meeting the.
I had work here.
Yeah.
As a
Lima is
editor.
So she was the chief editor of Southern Screen between 70...
From 80 to 85.
80 to 85, but you start to work at Southern Screen in 75.
Yeah.
She was the promotion department of the Shaw Brothers.
Yeah. And so those magazines were financed by Ron Show, you know, by the Shaw Brothers. So it's promotional magazines, and it was bilingual. So there is a little text in English.
No, this is.
But you have the long version in Chinese. But of course the short version
This is only a summary.
Version. This is not new. I don't know when I working there. It's all full.
But this is very easy.
No, you have
and thicker.
No. You have the poster. You have one color poster. You know, you have.
Of course. But it's like this bigger. When I do.
Oh yeah. In the 80s. So End of the 70s, they start to make the bigger format. Yes.
Yeah. It's not the same.
These days, you can do the translation very easily.
Of course. Yeah. Now, yes. I mean, if I had to pay somebody to translate all my magazines, I would be broke.
You don't have to pay.
Yeah.
You do what you find a.
But I almost did this. I said to a friend of mine who's a translator, I said, how much will you charge me if you have to be with me for a few months to read all the magazines to make my researches for my documentary? And of course, I would be kind of broke, right?
I think now is the time you ask Mr. Leung, how about the favorite movie or what?
你想問咩？
叫佢問你，你問咗佢好多嘢啦。
So what are your favorite Hong Kong movies?
My favorite Hong Kong movies is a movie that I made myself.
Okay.
I made movies.
Okay.
Yeah. I will show you after this program.
Okay.
You exchange more. Make this interview essential.
So you told me what about my project. I really because I've done so many interviews. So some of them were released. So Lima interview was released in the French box set.
I talk to you a lot only in here, only for 5 minutes or
20 minutes out of 1 hour. And this one maybe the same, but this one I didn't edit anyway. So. And because I've done so many interviews, some of them can be released 20 years later, so I don't want to do that anymore.
Okay,
so I want to do to edit and to produce a series of Hong Kong documentaries about Hong Kong film history, and there will be several episodes because you cannot say one documentary about Hong Kong cinema, right? Because it will be too condensed, right? So I can separate different genres: martial arts cinema, crime movies, Cantonese comedy. I've done a lot of interviews of people who did Cantonese. I interviewed Steven Shaw, I interviewed Lily Chi, I interviewed Tin Kaiman, you know. So yeah, I can even Yuan Qiu, you know, she played Kung Fu as well.
Try Anthony Wong.
Yeah.
Oh, I interviewed him already. But
he got a lot of opinions about everything. So when Ms. Lee asked us about the government policy, Mr. Anthony Wong will have a lot to tell you.
But me, I'm trying to interview mostly about the movies.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing like, I'm talking about the cinema, and I don't know, I know a little bit about politics, but I don't talk about politics during interview. I talk about the movies, and then that's it, you know. You know.
Yeah, we don't talk about all the politics.
Yeah.
So it is very nice to talk to you, Frederic.
Nice. Thank you for inviting me again.
No.
14 years later.
It is my fortune to have you in my program, okay. So we'll like to see you next time. In this program too.
I hope.
Whenever you come to Hong Kong, just give me a call.
Okay.
And then we do a program together. Okay?